Hi everyone, it's Kelly here. Welcome if this is your first time on my channel. Welcome back if you've been before. Lovely to have you either way. We talk books here, and today I am really excited because I am filming the first video in a series of videos I intend to film about my Dewey Decimal Reading non-fiction reading challenge that I'm hosting this year. I will pop it up in the cards the link to my announcement video. This is my 2023 reading challenge that I'm hosting, and basically how it works is we are going to be reading one book from each of the broad Dewey Decimal classes that you might find your books arranged in your local library. I know not every library will use the Dewey Decimal System. Here in Australia, most libraries that I'm aware of use it because unless they're sort of like perhaps a very specific kind of library that only has sort of a limited number of types of books that they have, they may not use it there. But if they're a sort of more general local library or the state library, all of those libraries will all have Dewey Decimal systems in place to help categorize their books and help people find the books that they want to read. So in the announcement video, I talk about all of the classes. In this video, I am going to just be focusing on one class, and this is the 0 class, if you will. So it's the books where the call number begins with a 0, all the way up until 099.99999. So that's the class that we're going to be looking at today. The general topic of this class is computer science, information, and general works. Now, I am going to link in the description below the Wikipedia page that I am working off today. I've got it here on my tablet right now. So this is where I'm getting this information from. And it's a Wikipedia page so anybody can access it. It's also linked within the challenge, and the link to the challenge will also be in the description as well. Okay, so computer science, information and general works, I don't think necessarily gives you a clear indication of what you're going to find in this class. In my school library where I work, this is probably one of the smallest sections in our nonfiction collection. In it, I think the main thing that we have are the, what do you call them? Like Guinness Book of Records or like big factoid type books that are not about a specific topic but are more kind of general. Those will be found there. That's sort of the bulk of our school collection for, children. That is in that class. But it's a lot, there's a lot more here that you might not expect to find in a topic that's called computer science, information and general works. So what I want to do today is to highlight some of the books that you might find in your collection, or that you might already have, or if you were to go to your local library, you might find in the collection that they have there. And I have done that. I've gone to a library. I've borrowed a couple of books. I'm also going to show you, I don't own that many books from this section, but I'm going to show you what I do own as well for this section. Okay, so the first section, in the first like 000 to 009, you've got things like computer science, knowledge, you've got the book, so topics about writing, libraries, book-related topics, systems, data processing and computer science, computer programming, programs and data, special computer methods. For example, AI, multimedia, VR, and then 007 to 009 is currently unassigned. So that's the first little bit that you're going to find there. So I think probably one of the sections there that bears repeating is the bit about the book. So this is like books about books, or books about writing, books about libraries and so on. Then we move into bibliographies. So there's probably not going to be a whole lot of bits. So this is the 010 section. probably not going to be a whole lot of things that you're going to find there that you would necessarily pick up and read cover to cover. So I won't go into that. There's sort of like cataloguing and so on. Then we move into 020. So this is library and information sciences. So this is like books about libraries and things like archives. You might have stuff in here about libraries for specific subjects, how libraries work, reading and use of other information media. So here you might find some really interesting books that you wouldn't expect to necessarily see in the section that also includes computer stuff. Then we've got 030, which is encyclopedias and books of facts. Again, I don't know that this is going to be the part that where you would read books cover to cover, so probably not super useful for our challenge. 040 is formerly was biographies, but is now unassigned. And I think the reason for that is that biographies now kind of live in the other sections that they kind of pertain to. So if it's a musician's biography, it will be in the music kind of section. Then 050 is magazines, journals, and serials. You could choose to do this to use this section if you really wanted to, but I'm going to skip over it for today. 060 is associations, organizations, and museums. So you might have some interesting things here to do with museum science and, organizations, or like books about particular organizations. Then we've got 070, news, media, journalism, and publishing. In this section of the library that I went to have a look at what was available, we had things like autobiographies written by journalists, and information sort of like about books about journalism and so on. Then we have 080 quotations. So this is like collections of quotations in a variety of languages. Then we've got 090, which is manuscripts and rare books. So this is like your kind of like real niche kind of stuff. So those are the sections. I'll stop looking at my iPad now, and we'll go on to showing you some of the books that I found at this library, and then showing you the book or books. I might have only have like one or two things in my actual collection that I can include in this section. So first of all, I found this book. This is Secret Places, Hidden Sanctuaries, Uncovering Mysterious Sites, Symbols, and Societies. So the call number for this one is 001.9. So this, I think, will be a really interesting book to pick up. So basically this is a guide to secretive sites around the world that are like, could be ancient stuff, but it could also be like modern, but off limits to people. So I think this would be a super interesting book to read. It includes things like, cathedrals where it's claimed that the Holy Grail is held. Monte Cristo, the most closely guarded island on Earth where a fabulous treasure waits to be unearthed. Disneyland's Club 33, the officially non-existent private retreat designed personally by Walt Disney before his death, with a membership waiting list said to be 14 years long. What else have we got here? America's legendary university secret societies whose influence, something that's covered by a sticker. Many of the present leaders of the country's society, and many more. So super, super interesting. Then we've got this one, which is about mythic creatures. So this call number for this is also in 001.944. This is Mythic Creatures and the Impossibly Real Animals Who Inspired Them, adapted from an exhibition curated by Laurel, Kendall, and Mark A. Norell with Richard Ellis and the American Museum of Natural History Exhibition Department. This is basically about an exhibition, but it's about mythical creatures, which I think is probably something that a lot of people would be interested in having a look at. Then we have Life in Code, A Personal History of Technology by Ellen Ullman. So this is a I want to say biography. Yeah, so it says it reads like a memoir, personal and compelling, but also a set of savvy reflections about the unfolding of digital culture. So just because we're talking about computer science doesn't mean you have to read a book about how the internet works, for example. You could be reading biographies of people who work in computer science, like this woman. So this is kind of just talking about technology and culture and so on. So definitely something that some people might find really interesting. Another one that I found here, oh, sorry, I didn't tell you the call number for that one. So that is 005.1092. Then we've got Curation, The Power of Selection in a World of Excess by Bhaskav. The call number is 006.312. And this is a book about curation. So if you imagine, like, obviously museums, libraries, all have to curate their collection. Of course, this is the Curatorially Yours channel specifically for that reason. This is about curating our libraries and curating our collection. So this could be something that interests you, and, you know, something that you are interested in curating your own collections, either of objects or books. This might be something you'd be interested in. I've got The Library by Stuart Kells, A Catalogue of Wonders is the byline. This is 027.009. So this is basically just about libraries and, you know, how they, it's described as a love letter to libraries and to their makers and protectors. From libraries without books, like the songlines of the first Australians, to the Library of Alexandria, the Bodleian, the Folger, and even the fabled libraries of Middle-earth, and Umberto echoes The Name of the Rose. Stuart Kells unlocks the bookish places that continue to capture our imaginations. That sounds delightful. More books about books and libraries. We've got Shelf Respect, A Book Lover's Defense by Annie Austen. Simply not enough. Oh, sorry. There's a byline that's covered by a sticker. Apologies. So it says, decluttering is all the rage, but what do you do when your preferred interior decor is miles of overstuffed bookshelves? That's me. I feel seen. If you can't bring yourself to clear your collection, Shelf Respect will validate your life choices. That sounds perfect. Exactly what I need. Then we've got The Art of Mindful Reading. So this is like a book about reading. Embracing the Wisdom of Words by Ella Berthoud. The call number is 028.9. So this is, that doesn't tell me what it's about. Well, it's about reading. The chapters are Lose Yourself in a Book, Ways of Reading, Reading Like a Child, Share the Joy of Reading, Find Yourself in a Book, Putting Down the Book, Further Readings and Website. So yeah, this is just all about reading and like how to be awesome at reading mindfully. So if that's something you're keen on, you could look for that one. So those are the books that I picked up from the library where I visited. Then I've got three. No, that's not all of the books. I just had them in a weird stack. 2 more to show you. So this one is called The Book in the Cathedral by Christopher de Hamel. It's a very skinny little volume, 091. So again, it doesn't actually tell me. The Last Relic of Thomas Becket. It says The Book in the Cathedral. So I don't know if this is specifically about a particular book or about books in cathedrals. Yeah, but there's some like beautiful images from cathedrals and so on, and religious texts. So that could be something that's up your alley. And then the other one that I've got here is Fixed It by Jane Gilmore. Violence and the Representation of Women in the Media. So this will be in that media section that we talked about, 070.449. So yeah, this is basically about exactly that, violence and the representation of women in the media. And like there's an example here of a headline: Woman was flirty and very friendly in the hours before she was allegedly raped. And then it's changed it to man accused of rape says alleged victim chatted to people at party. So it's sort of like that, you know, the way that women are represented in the media and violent crimes against women and so on, and how, the wording matters. So that's another interesting one that people might be interested in picking up. The one book that I have in my own collection that fits into this category is called The Secret Museum by Molly Oldfield. Some treasures are too precious to display. So this is 069.5. I made my own sticker to put on it so I could tell you. So basically this is a book about the things that are in museums that are not on display. So it's stuff that's like in their archives that you might not know about. And I believe this goes around to places around the world, like museums around the world, to kind of just give you some examples of things that they have in their collection that you might not know about. For example, let me find... Okay, for example, this is a really random example. Anglerfish couple, objects 19. That is at the Spirit Building at the Natural History Museum in London, England. And it is... I guess about anglerfish, but it's something that's not on display. Anyway, so it's that kind of thing. So hopefully you've gotten a little bit of why did I want to say exploration? Some inspiration is the word I was looking for. Hopefully you've got some inspiration from the books that I've shown you and sort of talking through the categories. If you want to have a look at that link to the Wikipedia that kind of spells out the different parts of the classes, then please have a look in my description. It will be there, along with the link to the challenge. And I will also, in that description, list all of the books that I've mentioned here today, in case any of those particular books sparked your curiosity and you want to go and have a look for them for yourself. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I am so excited for this challenge this year. I hope that you will join me. It only includes 10 books, so it's definitely something that's doable, that anybody is welcome to join us, that we've already got quite a few people joining this year, which is really exciting. So I look forward to chatting with you down in the comments about the challenge or about this class. And tell me what you're excited to read from this class for the challenge as well. I'd love to hear what you've chosen. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.